Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to you to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Scorpio, I hope that you're doing well. I was inspired to do this series of readings all about what your ancestors would like to tell you. And I was inspired by this crystal. This is mookaite. They call this mookaite, polished tower. And I have a lot of crystals in my room, almost an embarrassing amount of crystals that I work with. And every once in a while, sometimes the personalities of the crystals, they recede into the background and come forward. This one stuck out so much today. And I picked it up and I immediately knew that your ancestors wanted to speak to the Scorpio collective. And so here we are. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The Shaman's Dream Oracle for the overall energy, the Radiant Wilds Tarot for your tarot reading, and at the end, the advice from Spirit will come from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Messages from your ancestors. Moon Maiden, number 41, which reduces to a 5, the Hierophant card in the Major Arcana. Talking about rules, standards, regulations, people in positions of spiritual power here on Earth. Moon Maiden, new beginnings. So you could be dealing with a lot of moon energy right now. You could be working with the moon, cleansing your crystals in the moonlight. The thing about this crystal, which can be used for family lineage healing, but also grounding. It's very good for root chakra energy. It's, to me, when I look at the layers, it kind of shows me the passage of time, throughout lifetimes. And there's something here that's beckoning you towards something brand new for yourself. It's almost like there's a part of you or a sense within you that you want to start over, start from scratch. We can't start totally from scratch, but we can make a big splash in terms of uprooting our lives, even if it means you're not moving anywhere, but you're just kind of uprooting the sense, the comfort of your identity. It's like you are recreating yourself in a way. And you're just about to like burst through that surface, like a rebirth of sorts. It also reminds me of like a baptism, you know, when they dunk people in the water. It's like born again. You could have some Pisces in your chart because the moon is so prominent. The moon is related to Pisces. It's all about secrets, mysteries, illusion, and confusion. And it's very, very prominent. Like it's half the image. So it's one of these things where if we're not careful, the moon energy can really cause us a lot of strife because it can throw us into a place of instability. But I feel like Scorpio is making friends with the moon, a man in the moon. Like you're becoming friends with that energy. I'm saying this because I don't know who it was, if I came up with this thought, or maybe it was my mom. We were talking about the planet Saturn, which came up in the Pisces reading, actually. Saturn is the planet of restriction. It represents a lot of what the Hierophant represents, kind of standards, rules. It also represents father time. So whatever is in your Saturn portion of your chart, that is kind of what needs to be abided by. It's like we have to be good little kids and listen to Saturn. And it will work out for us in the end. But if we don't listen to Saturn, we might get a swift kick in the butt. And so I kind of decided that I was going to make friends with Saturn, because we all have to deal with Saturn at some point. And I thought, I will make friends with Saturn. And I feel like my mom said that too about her life, because Saturn features very prominently in something for her. And I feel like this is what you're saying, but to the moon. We're going to be friends, Mr. or Mrs. Moon. Whatever secrets you have, I'm going to allow it, and I'm going to sit with those secrets, and I'm going to let them come to the surface as they will. I feel like there's secrets having to do with your own psyche. That's what Spirit just gave me. 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and at the end, I'm going to pull 1 card of advice from Spirit. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Wow. Okay. Very, all these cards they have different renderings, even within this own deck, and there's so many representations of planetary bodies just in these 6 cards. So it's kind of wonderful. The very first card is Queen of Swords. I attribute this to Libra energy. Queen of Swords talks about somebody, your past energy. Somebody who is very discerning, can be kind of cold, calculating, truth seeker. Queen of Swords demands the truth. I always like to say that the Queen of Swords already knows what the truth is. She's just looking at you and wondering if you know it and if you're going to tell it to her. She already knows what it is. She saw it a mile away. She's so smart that way. Queen of Swords has been through a lot. And if you think about it, like if you've watched any tarot, then you know the breakdown of the deck. For those of you that don't, a typical deck has 78 cards. The first 22 cards are the major arcana. Talks about the fool's journey, that we are all fools. We are all fools in love. No. That we take great leaps of faith. And when we do, we run the whole gamut of human experience to then come to the world card. We go through all 22 cards of the major arcana, which have to do with mastery over things, strife over other things, introspection and contemplation and questioning, and we make it all the way through it to the end, to the world card, where things kind of fit together and wrap up nicely with a bow, closing out a chapter of our life. And then we start all over again and take new risks and become fools again. So that's the major arcana, and the minor arcana are the rest of the cards. Each has 4 suits: the swords, the pentacles, the cups, and the wands. Each suit runs from ace to 10, page, knight, queen, king. So there's a whole suit of swords cards that falls behind the queen. What is the swords suit talking about? Air energy. Just thinking, overthinking, strategizing, looking at the facts, looking at the figures, looking at the strategy. Wondering how we found ourselves in heartache and heartbreak, disappointment. Wondering how we found ourselves in analysis paralysis and nightmare energy. It's all in the thinking mind. Here in this card, though, the whole head has been replaced by a sun. That's significant. So it's interesting because this is your past energy. It's almost like saying, Scorpio, you thought you had it all figured out. Your head was the sun. The sun is illumination, clarity. It's like the opposite of the moon. Life-giving energy. I can see clearly now the rain is gone, like that energy. In the past, it's like you felt like you knew everything. That things made sense. 10 of Pentacles. This is the card of abundance in the material world. I have it all figured out. I have abundance. I have things moving my way, going my way. But there's something very jarring about this, isn't there? Like, where's their head? Like, yes, it's the sun, but like, where is their actual head, right? It's like very, there's this disconnect. Let's get a clarifier. Six of Wands in the reverse. Six of Wands in the upright talks about victory, but in the reverse it talks about a lack mentality. This particular card, you know, I said, where's her head? Where's her head? It's almost like it's been subsumed, like overrun, almost to the point of like distraction. Right? This card is in reverse. It's like Spirit's playing a Taylor Swift song. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. It's like something is like stuck to you and you just need to shake it off. It's like there's something. It's turning dark all of a sudden in terms of the meaning. Because when I see this card now, it's almost like Spirit's saying the words, I was sold a story. I was sold a story. I was told a line. The Spirit's almost saying to me, like, did you deceive yourself? And I think that's a little harsh. I'm looking at this crystal, but I'm looking at it on this side. You see this line here? It's like all of this beautiful solid color, and then there's this line here of, you know, imperfection. It feels like distraction. It's almost like, hey, Scorpio, look at this over here while this over here is happening. Like you thought that there was something that it seemed really great and could have yielded some reward, but in the end, you don't feel as, Spirit just gave the word favored. You don't feel as favored as you were expecting to feel. This is your past energy. So it's like blessings abound, but there's still so much that is like almost like blocking out the sun, like eclipse energy. Like the moon is so small in comparison to the sun. And yet from our perspective, when it eclipses, the sun has very little power just for those couple of moments. we're in total darkness. In the present energy, Ace of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles. This is a card that talks about diligence, hard work, dedication, and focus. And often it can talk about a workplace scenario. Not always. It's just someplace where we dedicate the majority of our time, effort, energy, and resources. It's supposed to be clarifying this Ace of Wands, which is this card of, it's normally a card of brand new beginnings, passionate endeavors, creative pursuits, right? We're going to walk through that door, and yet the card came out in reverse for you. So I see you working very hard at the present moment, but there is an inability to walk through a portal that will lead to something that you desire. You're not walking through that at the moment. Can I ask Spirit why? Yeah, so this card came out for Cancer, I believe. No, Pisces. No, I don't remember. The Two of Wands. And isn't it funny that I brought up Saturn earlier in the reading, and I said Saturn was the planet of restriction, and that I always try to make friends with Saturn. I always try to abide by Saturn's rules, because it's Saturn's way or the highway, right? Two of Wands typically talks about directionality. What direction are we moving into? Where are we going? What are our goals? What are our intentions? And you have it here in the upright. So kind of makes sense as a clarifier card to this. If you're unable to enter into that portal, maybe it's because you don't even recognize that the portal is there. Maybe because you're having difficulty trying to decide which direction to move into. So what are we doing? We're just staying put where we are. Maybe looking at I want to say a divine masculine figure for clarity. Now, divine masculine does not have to describe a man. It's just somebody who is in their divine masculine energy. Somebody who could be a little bit more the aggressor, the hunter, the motivator, the person that goes out and moves and does, acts. So you could be like looking at a person like that in your life now and thinking, asking the question or asking for advice, what should I do? What should I do? And yeah, they can give you advice, but ultimately it's your decision. I mean, at least you know that you don't want to stay stagnant. You don't want to stay in the place that you are. And here you are. It's like both these cards speak to me like a precipice. You're like almost there. You're like so close you can touch it. There's something holding you back. Could be your job. The economy is not great right now, so I could understand why you would stay in a situation if it wasn't the ideal, because the thought of trying to find a new job might be absolutely daunting. That is completely understandable. That could put us in Saturn energy. But our jobs do not have to define us. And how are you sparking your creative pursuits outside of your workplace? I think that feels like the ticket, right? Because this energy here is all about the unconscious, subconscious, like bringing all of that dreaminess to the surface. So it's almost like, what's your side hustle, Scorpio? but not in such pedestrian terms. It's more about your ancestors. You know, this idea, right, that our ancestors have paved the way, carved a path, however you want to look at that metaphor. But then it's kind of like, what are we bringing to the table of our ancestral line? Now, maybe you don't like your ancestral line and you want to break away from it completely. That's your prerogative. And a lot of people are breaking cycles that are not good for them, right? Like, an extreme example would be if you come from a family of people that have addiction issues and you just absolutely refuse to partake, and you always have. It's like, that's you breaking a familial cycle. It's a very extreme example. It happens to so many people, right? I just heard gambling. You just refuse. You've refused to be caught up in it. But in the future potential, it seems like you've like, now, okay, well, I know I want to move. I've packed my bags, but they're incredibly heavy. So it's kind of like, I need to be sure before I move, because I don't want to be dragging all of this around forever. Four of Pentacles talks about keeping things close to our chest, close to our, you know, in our back pocket. If it's talking about finances, it can talk about a person who is shrewd, frugal, perhaps a little miserly. If it's not finances and it's just emotions, right? Feelings, we might be just keeping things under wrap right now, under wraps. It's clarified here by the Three of Pentacles, the Four and the Three of Pentacles in succession. I think I was just telling Cancer, it's not a common thing to have two cards come out in succession in tarot readings, because look at how many cards there are. And the card deck has been shuffled, reshuffled again. So it shows a progression of action, right? Three of Pentacles is all about collaboration and co-creation with spirit. Look at how these shapes are mirroring one another. This one is, you know, we've had our powwow with spirit, our meeting, and then there seems to be some kind of evolution to the portal that we want to walk through. But we're having a difficult time. It's almost as if you want to walk through that door, but the baggage that you have might be too big to walk through. So then you'd have to let something go, right? It's just like when we, I have a friend that is traveling very soon, and we were talking about like baggage fees and everything like that, and you can't go over a certain weight on the airplane, you have to pay extra, blah, blah, blah. So it's like you at the terminal, and people are saying, you know, sir, madam, your bag is too heavy, and then you're going to have to let go of some of those rum cakes that you've been hoarding away to bring back with you. I'm just thinking about that because once I went, a long time ago, I went to Jamaica with my family, and we bought like, I don't even know, 15 small rum cakes to bring back for friends and family. And I got stopped at customs because they were like, what do you have in your bags, right? It was a long time ago. This is like over 20 years ago. But you may be from Jamaica, I don't know. But this is what the Spirit's showing me. That is, my spirit guides make me laugh sometimes, but they're showing me that, like, I'm gonna have to pull you to the side because you're dragging too much with you. There's stuff that you have to let go of. In order for you to have this new beginning. I'm going to get a card of advice from Spirit. One card of advice from Spirit, please. for Scorpio. Look at this. 18. Oh my God, it's the moon. Number 18, which corresponds to the moon card in the major arcana. Serendipity. Look, I'm telling you. That's 2 moon references. That's crazy to me. Please take this as a synchronicity. Wow. Serendipity. Truly divine timing. Kismet. Good luck. Spirit's advice to you, it's interesting because this is all about like what your ancestors are wanting to impart to you. And one of my ancestors and my spirit guides was my uncle, and his name is literally good luck, because we're Asian and we have weird names. And it's almost so, because Spirit gives me the Rolodex in my mind to be able to communicate to you, they're bringing to me my uncle, who is also a Scorpio. He was a Scorpio. His birthday was in November. He's been gone a long time, but he's literally never gone from my life. He's a Scorpio. He's amazing. And so what it conveys to me is your ancestors, your passed away loved ones are like right there. They're like right there with you every step of the way. And it's almost like, you know what I'm seeing here? Like this. Here you are under the water, like just about to break through. It's almost like they're gonna send this like lifeline and like airlift you out. See that? Call out to them for that lifeline. Let me read from the book. I didn't read from the book for the other signs, but I want to read for you. Number 18. Opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity. See? Luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could have never planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. It's warm and fuzzy, Scorpio. I'm so happy for you. But it does require you to pack light. That's your reading, Scorpio. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Scorpio.